It's tactic time. Welcome back to the channel. Today's tactic, THANOS version 3. I'm back, ready to help you win titles in your football manager save. Just like that. That's right. I've tested it with 3 different teams as always. And before we get into that though, please hit like. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe so you know when the future tactics drop. Now let's have a look how THANOS got on in the 3 different tests. First up, Arsenal. And yeah, they're still in the Champions League in real life. They'll be very happy if it ends in them winning the Champions League. But in this one, they've won the league, 95 points, 6 points clear of Liverpool. A little bit different to real life. FA Cup final, 4-0 win against Southampton. Not sure how Southampton got there, but 4-0 in the end anyway. Community Shield, nice start of the season, 5-2. Before the tactic had settled in, but a 5-2 win against Man City. Out in the 4th round of the Carabao Cup. Liverpool, but overall a great season for Arsenal. And if we take a look at the squad, you can see here massive goal contributions from Odegaard, from Gabriel Jesus. We've got Martinelli chipping in with 21 there. Saka with 26. Lots of goals, lots and lots of goals, lots of assists from the attacking players. If we dive into the season, just the 28 goals against. Less than a goal a game, 118 goals for. They've walked the league. Possession-wise, that's pretty high. If you look at expected goals, far and away higher than the rest of the team. Look at the player overview. We've got Odegaard in the goals. We've got Saka, 3 in the top 4 for goals. A really strong season for Arsenal, but you're not just getting goals from one area of the pitch. As you can see, you're getting it from your midfield, from wide, from up front, all chipping in with goals, all showing up on these positive stats. And your fullbacks are right up there with the high-intensity sprints as well. Test number 2, and it's Southampton. It's not with the updated database. And as you can see, they're in the Championship, but they've won the FA Cup. In the last test with Arsenal, they lost the FA Cup final. We weren't sure how they got there. In this one, they've gone in, and it's Arsenal again. But this time, using this tactic, Southampton win the FA Cup final and walk the league with 113 points. Phenomenal season. 125 goals for, 42 against. Again, less than a goal a game against, while still scoring a ton of goals. And if we look this graph, that tells you everything you need to know about how strong all round this tactic and Southampton season was in the Championship. Final test, because I never just tested in one country. I like to try different levels. I like to try different countries because there's different styles of play and different formations in each country. Lets you know that it's adaptable to your saves. And as you can see, again, another brilliant season. This time for RB Leipzig. A Champions League win in the final, albeit after extra time. 5-4 against Manchester City. Won the league comfortably by 16 points. And a German Super Cup win, beating Bayern Munich 3-0 in the final of that one. See Benjamin Sesko with the 2. Danny Olmo still at the club in this database, chipping in with 1. Really comfortable win. Really great season. As you can tell, the tactic works. But let's have a look at some goals. So these goals are from a 3-1 win against Bayern Munich in the Champions League, which we know we went on to win. Let me just check the tempo here. Yeah, we'll slow that down a bit. But just pop it on 2D Classic mode. So here you can see, you get a bit of a feel for the tactic. You've got your 4 at the back. Defensive midfielder, Declan Rice. You've got an attacking midfielder, or one of your central midfielders who gets forward there, left winger there, but we are pressing on this side of the play. You can see that centre midfielder is pressing high, joining the striker, and there's your winger. So it's making it really difficult for Bayern to play out on that side. And if we just press play and see what happens, you lip back to Neuer, the press is good. You see Martinelli step up at the right time. Everyone's in a really good position. Steps up at the right time, wins the ball, squares it, Gabriel Jesus with the goal. So here's the tactic in an attacking phase of play. So we know it's a 4-3-3, starts off as a 4-3-3, But as you move up the pitch, and you can see by the high line that we are attacking, they are dropping deep. It's an attacking phase of play. You've got a line of 5 players in attack. You've got your 2 central midfielders finding those gaps between the fullbacks. This one's tucked in a little bit, but that is dangerous against this tactic because that leaves plenty of space for the wingers. There's different ways to attack. If they leave the fullback wide, there's a gap there. We tuck them in. Inverted fullback, I'm guessing. Then we've got Saka with lots of space. Ben White there as well. Lots of space. So they're tucking in on this side. Let's see how the play goes. I'll switch it over to TV. We can take a look. And we work it out to this side where the space was. He's still got the space. The fullback has stepped out to our fullback. Saka's made the run. He squared it. And Nketiah has scored. This is a goal I wanted to show you. It's from a 5-1 win against Brighton towards the end of the season. But just to show you some of the passing play you're able to get because the players are all finding space, building triangles. There is lots of passing options. You can see the triangles all over the pitch and it creates some really nice patterns of play. You can see the defender brings it out, passes it to Martinelli, first time back to Zinchenko, it's cut back to Havertz, over to Odegaard. That is a lovely team goal with a great finish from Martin Odegaard. Let's break down this FM24 tactic step by step, including key roles, player instructions, and the team instructions, whether you're using it on mobile, console, or PC. But real quick, if you're into tactics, if you're enjoying the tactics we've put out so far, or just want to get better at FM, hit the like button, hit subscribe, and don't miss any of the uploads. There are plenty more tactics to come. All right, let's get into this shape and how each role works within this setup. As you can see, it is THANOS V3. It is attacking. We've gone for short passing, high tempo, and a narrow setup. We're passing into space, low crosses, and we are running at defense. In transition, we're counter-pressing, countering when the ball's been won. We're distributing the ball quickly. I'm not telling them where to pass it to, but we are rolling it out, so it's not going very far at all. We're not taking too many risks. Out of possession, I've gone high press with the line of engagement, much higher with the defensive line, much more often with the trigger press, and we are preventing goalkeeper distribution. You saw the pressing setup when in one of the goals against Bayern Munich, we just really stopped them from playing out. They're a team that wants to play out from the back. The way this one is set up and the way these instructions work makes it very, very difficult, even for the top teams to do it. I have left off get stuck in. I know it's a popular instruction and I use it fairly regularly myself. You can see the difference it makes to the intensity. It doesn't impact the performance, so we're going to leave that one off because the tactic is pretty intense as it is. And defensive line, we have step up. Now, I've been asked before, there are little things you can do to save the player's fitness. You can change this down to balanced. You can lower the tempo, and you can even just stopping the goalkeeper, throwing it out quickly makes all the difference. So just those little things. If you're just thinking towards the end of the game, you got to win 3-0, then just make a few adjustments. Save the player's fitness. The game is done. See it out. Bit of game management during the game. Over to the player instructions. We've got a sweeper keeper on defend, and on both sides, we've got a fullback on attack, on take more risks, stay wider, and tackle harder. We've got the ball playing defenders, dribble more, tackle harder, and you saw again on one of the goals, saw the defender bringing it out, finding the left winger, and then you saw the pass combinations from there. Got a defensive midfielder. He's on hold position and he's on tackle harder. There is so much movement, and I think I showed at one point with the Mazzalas, they were up here finding gaps between there. And the Mazzala is a really, really brilliant role in the game. If you're looking for creativity and movement in your midfield, the Mazzala on support is one of the most exciting roles in the game. It's positioned in the central midfield, but the Mazzala drifts wide, and you saw with the press, he was out there supporting the winger, finds those half spaces between the fullback and the centre-back. They're operating between where a normal playmaker would, the number 10, and the winger, and they find that space, and that's where they make the impact from. They balance with the offense, but also keep that bit of defensive responsibility. He's not going to go full throttle in attack, but he'll make those late runs, linking with the forward line, linking with the wide players, creating overloads on the flanks. It's a role that really thrives in a three-man midfield, which is why we've got the one player there offering protection as the defensive midfielder. You've got that holding midfielder behind them as the more disciplined partner alongside the two Mazzalas this side. It's a very symmetrical tactic and setup. So if you think of players like Kevin De Bruyne, when they drift into that wide space, either fire a shot from outside the box, look for a pass, or put in a cross. So if you want the flair and movement and a little bit of unpredictability in your build-up play, the Mazzala on the support is brilliant in your tactic. But if you're looking at their instructions on these two, we've got take more risks, got dribble more, and we've got tackle harder. The inside forwards, sit narrow, tackle harder, mark tighter, which again we saw them stop the team, Bayern Munich playing out from the back. The wingers were very tight to the fullback, and when they went back to the goalkeeper and he tried to play away, this winger stepped up at the exact right moment. Having that mark tighter means their starting position is higher up the pitch in the defensive phase. They are there to close it down. Otherwise, you could see the one striker be isolated and teams will be able to play out from the back a lot easier. Lastly, advance forward, take more risks, tackle harder, score lots of goals, because that's what that role does. And that is THANOS version 3. It is back and ready to help you in your saves. This isn't the one for you. Check out the playlist, check out the channel, plenty more tactics on there. This one's a little bit more conventional. It's back to a standard 4-3-3. But if there's different roles you want to see involved, let me know and I will make it happen. The tips video is on the screen now. But as for today, tactic time done.